Welcome to Watch Symposium. I'm Austin. All right, so I just got done at the sports club, did some swimming, did some working out. You know, it's 500 yen for 2 hours, unless you're 65. If you're 65, it's free. Kind of interesting. There's another interesting thing, and that's a rule that they've got here. There's a rule of no soap and no shampoo in the showers. So it took me a while. I thought on it, and what do you guys think that is? Why do they have that rule? Pause the video, think about it. Come back in 2 or 3 hours, and I'll give you my take. All right, so what do you think? Why do they have that rule? Well, I can't say that this is a definitive answer, but my guess is that to keep elderly people from coming and using the showers to bathe themselves to save a buck, I think they have that no shampoo, no soap rule. Maybe it's just not limited to, well, I guess if it was younger people, they'd have to pay 500 yen, and so they'd at least break even on the water, but you know, a 70-year-old person would be basically able to take free showers. Anyway, that's my take on it. So, I'm having a little bit of green tea. Whoa, this is like a Pender play. This is like the movie Memento or Reservoir Dogs or Pulp Fiction. This Watch Symposium program will go into another program in a minute, but let's talk horology. Let's talk Casio horology. I'd like to pick up another one of these, a pink one for my daughter. She's not quite able to get her head around time. In fact, when she was 3, I started going over time with her and telling about seconds and minutes, and it's a tough thing to teach a child because you know, time is something you experience. It's tough to point at, and you can't point at it like a cat and say that's a cat. You can show them a second hand and say, okay, that's 1 second, that's 2 seconds, but again, they're probably fixated on the movement of the second hand. Now that my daughter is starting to go under the water when she swims, the counting makes it a little bit easier for her to grasp the idea of 5 seconds or 10 seconds. But even then, it's a tough thing to teach a child time. One other reason is because, you know, on a typical analog watch, like one of my Rolexes, well, it's not 24 hours, it's just divided up, 12 hours. And so you have to say there's 24 hours in a day, but we divide it up into 12, and it's just a lot for a child to get their head around. But I think a digital could be a little bit easier. She's still not at the age where I think she's ready for it, but I'd like to pick up a pink one for her. And I know they did make some pink ones. I don't think they produce them anymore. Let me switch arms. So I'll put a link in the description if I can find it. This was probably a year ago. I was looking at different colors for the F-91W. And apparently they produced an orange one at one point. And I found a second-hand orange one on the Japanese market. And I want to say it was something outrageous, like the equivalent of $500. I can't imagine it's sold, but I'll try to put a link in the description if I can find it when I get home. But yeah, that's something you see a lot of here. People in the secondhand business identifying and trying to find a rarity, something they think are a future classic, and they'll price it like it is a future classic. You got to be careful with Casios because they're faked, and you know, you can get actually fake F-91Ws from China in an array of colors, and there's a few ways you can make sure they're real, which I'm not really sure. Oh, actually, yeah, one way is if you press what is it? All of the buttons. If you press 2 of the buttons, I think it says Casio. If you press all of the buttons, then all of the LEDs light up, and that's, like, I think, one way to authenticate it. There are a couple other little things, like I think there's some like small lettering on there, but yeah, so you have to be careful. So you have to wonder, is that orange one legit? I've never heard of them producing an orange one, but I assume that they've done their due diligence. But anyway, yeah, I think I can pick up a pink one on eBay. It'll be more expensive than the $10 this was, but I think I saw one for like $30 or something, which is overpriced, but again, they're tough to come by. And yeah, I think a pink one would fit my 4-year-old daughter perfectly. Anyway, let's switch arms again and talk about the quintessential Japanese beverage, green tea. Absolutely fantastic stuff. I drink at least 2 tea bags worth a day, at the very least. And I say 2 tea bags worth instead of giving you a volume, because usually I'll make a bowl of it, not a cup, a bowl in the morning. And I'll drink it before I leave for work. And then when I get home, I'll just put more hot water in it. And I'll keep doing that a couple times. And when it gets kind of thin, I'll actually wring the tea bags out with my hand to just get all of that green tea goodness out of it. Low calorie, no calorie, just a tad of caffeine to help with your concentration, wake you up a bit, loaded with antioxidants. It's amazing stuff and great on the palate. It's like water plus 10. Anyway, I'm just a huge fan of green tea. You can get a lot of great green tea here, including matcha, which is powdered green tea. But the question of the next program is, how do you choose a good bottled green tea? Well, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time. Welcome to Tea Symposium. I'm Austin. All right, so picking up some tea before I go to the sports club. Now, how do you choose a good bottled tea? Well, let's look at this one. Clear, nothing at the bottom. I wouldn't say this is a bad choice, but I think we can do better. Let's come up here. Now check out the bottom of this. Ah, there we go. Now that's some real tea goodness there. You shake it. It disperses. That's what I look for. And I think this is probably my favorite. Rich green tea. Check out this. Look at that. Looks like plastic's on the bottom, but it's not. This is tea goodness. There you go. So that's how I choose my green tea. Take care. Thanks for watching. See you next time.